Welcome back to coverage of the River Run. And Chris, it takes a lot of people to make this race possible, from the start to the end, everywhere in between. I mean, just volunteers, people at the finish line, the law enforcement. It's just a ton of people that make this race happen.
Right, your grassroots volunteers at these water stops, and you can see one there in the background. They will probably go through 2,000 to 3,000 cups. People will take a drink and just throw it on the ground. And those people have to pick it up and clean it up. So it's the volunteers at the water stops, the police you just saw there, everybody participating to make the race go well. You don't see a lot of people in distress, so they're taking a lot of fluids while they're running. And it just, if you don't have volunteers, the race could really turn into a tragedy.
And Kurt, you talked about earlier that you don't see this, at least legally. Maybe laugh earlier at that comment, but it is one of those things you just don't see every day. And for people in Evansville and Henderson, and not just that, but the outlying areas from Mount Carmel, from Jasper, from different states, it's got to be awesome to be able to run on this course in the middle of the road.
Absolutely. We talked to some of the runners today. We were down at the event, and they were telling us, I was asking them how the bridge was, of course, and they were saying how that the motorists coming by were honking and waving, and everybody was smiling and friendly and really enjoying seeing the runners come across the bridge. And, I mean, as a runner myself, you never know how motorists are going to act. So it's really great to see that everybody's getting along and having fun out on the course. And yes, a lot of people came in from out of town just to do the course because it is so unique.
And Jim, as a former race winner yourself, how amazing is it to see that there are this many people that are capable of completing a race of this distance?
Oh, it's unbelievable, really, because back when we ran it, it was a 12K, which is 7.5 miles. Now we're all the way up to a 10-mile run. And look at these people are having fun, waving and everything, and they're not in any distress at all. And this is a 10-mile run. This isn't something short that everybody can do. They've trained and worked hard to get to where they are right now, and this you can see how much fun they're having.
I had a chance to talk to both mayors of Evansville and of Henderson, and they both told me that this could be a staple, and that's what we hope. We hope it's back next year. They may even flip-flop the course, but that's something that, Chris, I think would be just tremendous for this area.
Right now, there are so many races going on every weekend. I think last weekend there was 3. The weekend before there was 5. So you have to have a special race. And this one right here is just almost a classic. You're going from one state to the next state. You're going over a bridge. It's 10 miles long. They had a training schedule up to the race. So you have to have a race now that has a hook, a real nice hook in it, and going over the bridge, going state to state. And I think it's going to be super cool now next year that they're going to flip it where they started in Evansville and they finish in Henderson. And that's really a neat thing. So people can do this backwards now. And so now, with as competitive it's getting with races going on, you just have to have a long distance and something like going over a bridge. This worked out great.
To have this back in this area, what does it mean for this area to have this back, Kurt?
I think for the tri-state that it brings a couple states together and just brings everybody together as a whole. A running community really is what we see.
And Jim, it's got to be sentimental for you to see this River Run back here once again.
Oh, it brings back a lot of memories, I can tell you that right now. Finishing down that straightaway there was a crowd all the way through. It was awesome.
I ran in everyone but the first one, and this is great. The other ones were great too. I want to give a shout out to Pat Shoulders for starting this, but these guys have done a fabulous job with it too. And the weather was just perfect. It was a good run. The River Run was always my favorite race. That one is that one. This is different, but still, this could be, the best race Evansville has. And half marathon too in the fall is a great one. So, but it'd be great if they do this every year.
We'll be back with more from this year's River Run as the runners finish their journey into downtown Evansville.
CBS 44's River Run coverage is sponsored by McDonald's.